Okay, guys, so how do people develop their own unique style on guitar? You know, I've often thought about this because with guitar playing, you know, uh, technically all the 12 notes in this major scale have been played already. So anything that can be done has probably been done, musically in such a way. Notwithstanding the fringe people like Bill Frisell or people that play a little bit more out there tonally music. But in general speaking, most guitar solos you've heard, most pop songs you've heard. But I think the way that the fundamental way that people develop their own style on guitar is they pick a thing, and they do that thing over and over and over, and it becomes repetitive, and that thus becomes their style. So you're probably thinking, oh, okay, you're not telling me anything I don't know. I mean, that would make sense. Your style would be something that you do that's unique to you. Yeah, but it's a little bit more than that. I'm saying that it's not as difficult as people think to develop their own style. Because we all start off the same way. We start learning licks by our favorite players, Jimi Hendrix, uh, Jeff Beck, George Benson, Eric Johnson, whoever. And we just try to emulate those players because that's the first thing that we hear. But over time, we've come to find out, we're never going to be as good as those players. And why is that? Because those players, they're doing something that's unique for them that only they can kind of do the best of. Not only that they can do, I mean, other people can kind of emulate it, but if you emulate it, you just, people will say, oh, he sounds like George Benson, or he sounds like Eric Johnson, or he sounds like Chet Atkins, or he sounds like Danny Gatton. You know what I'm saying? So, and the reason they're saying you sound like that person is because when that other person played, they kept doing things in a repetitive nature that became their signature. For example, somebody like BB King. I don't even know how to play like BB King, but I know that he will hang on one note. I mean, that's probably not even a BB King lick per se, but I'm saying, it's BB King. He doesn't like, BB King is not playing like, he's not playing a lot of scales. He's a, and he'll play the same thing over. Literally the same four notes. Okay, I messed up the turnaround, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, they do this thing over and over, and it becomes their signature. They don't really try to copy other players per se. They just kind of settle into their thing. So you take somebody like Eric Johnson. When you first hear him, so he'll play his arpeggios like. So when you hear those arpeggios like that, okay, that's Eric Johnson. Or if you hear some fast pentatonic, I cannot play fast pentatonic, but if you hear like a, you're kind of like, oh, that sounds like Eric Johnson. You know what I'm saying? So if you hear like, you're, oh, that kind of sounds Hendrixy or whatever. So you got to find your own thing. That's what I'm saying. It could be something simple. So the good thing to do is to listen to playback of yourself over and over and over. I mean, record yourself, listen to playback, find little things that you do with effortless ease, and then just kind of lean into that. For me personally, I don't necessarily have my own style per se. I'm still in the mimicking stage a little bit, but things I do a lot is I do a lot of a lot of like bends. That's not necessarily original, but I like to just kind of like like really. Or when I'm playing a scale, like if I'm playing a blues scale, like A pentatonic, I like to add in like this flat six, and I don't know what you call this scale, but whether it's original or not, I notice if I'm gonna play like I'll do like this a lot. Because I'm always hanging on those kind of notes. I guess it's some kind of diminished scale or whatever, but I like scales that don't necessarily, sound like they're not obvious that you're playing what you're trying to do. It's kind of like when you listen to that Middle Eastern music and they have all those weird tones in there and stuff. That's what I like. So I mean, there's a name for that. It's not, like I said, it's not super original, but I just noticed I do that a lot. So I'll just kind of mix it, and interweave it with some other stuff. And even that, I need to kind of change up and kind of like branch out and learn some other things around it. But I just notice when it comes to blues playing, pentatonic playing, I tend to kind of gravitate in that. So yeah, so that's pretty much the moral of the story, guys. Find something that you do well, and you stick to it and kind of hang on that, and that's going to help you develop your own signature sound, whatever it may be. And half the time, it's going to be something very small. So don't think it has to be like this big, major thing that you're, like you need to know all these scales and stuff. I mean, that'd be nice too. That can be your signature, like Holsworth, with the legato, but that was his thing, and that was highly technical. So unless you got a lot of time to practice, or you really love that style, go for it. But when you're playing a lot of notes like that, it's a little bit harder to have a defining style. Holsworth could do it because his melodic content was on another level. It was more about just playing scales. He wasn't like... I mean, that's the only fast scale I know, and he was all over the place, and I'm just playing something basic. So think about that, guys. Think about finding your voice. Think about playing something simple. And we'll talk to you later. Peace.